Alright, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Classy Wear Sewing Workshop. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show us the basic way of fixing a placket, a senator placket. Some persons call it flap, senator placket that is in the front. So I've already cut out my bodies. The placket, what I'm working with is only the front part of the dress. Working with the front part of the dress. Now I've already cut out my fusing interfacing. So this I use collar stand for this so that it will be firm. So this is for an adult. The length I use 14 as the length. This person is not that too tall, so I use 14. In some cases I use 15 as well. Then the size of this I use 1.2. I use 1.2, so 1.2 by 14 inches the length. So first and foremost, I'm going to concentrate. Remember, I'm going to the flap is going to be in the front of this. Now I want to get exactly where I'm going to fix it. I have 1.2 for this, my flap, my placket. I've already cut it the way I want it to be. This is how I want it to be. Then this, I folded this to curve it so that it will have a pinpointed mount. So this is it, or a kind of V shape for that side, kind of V shape. So let's get down to this. I have 1.2 here. I'm going to mark 1.2 here. This is just to mark. I'm going to mark it small. I'm just trying to get where the exact place where my placket will fit in the fabric. So that place you mark, fold this fabric to meet that place, because I just want to divide it. I just want to get the midpoint of this in the fabric, the midpoint of it. So I've done that. I can actually do small ironing. Okay, now I have the midpoint of the meanwhile. If I open it, you can see the line. You can see the line. Let me just bring this camera close. You can see the line. So this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint. So if you place this in it, the placket is still in between these two lines. So that is why I had to get this. That's why I had to get this. So now I'm going to open this. I'm going to open this with 6.5 inch. The middle one. I'm going to open it with 6.5. 6.5. Okay. Six and a half. So already open. So this is exactly where I'm going to fix my placket. These two lines will now be my guide when I'm fixing this, so that it will be at the center of this fabric. So now let's get to the gumming part of it. If you want to use another fabric for the flap, for the placket, fine and good. If you still want to use the same material for the placket, it's okay for you. In this case, I'm going to use the same material because the neck, the piping will be another color, will be I'm going to use this as my this is the wrong part. This is the wrong side of the fabric. This is the wrong side of this fabric. So now I'm going to place this gum. Just look at, follow me. I'm going to place it. This is the interfacing. I'm going to place it like, leaving like half an inch here. So I'm gumming it. I'm going to fold this inside. I'm going to fold this. So I folded this inside. Now I've done this like this. This is the first time I folded this slide. Then I had to turn it just for the fabric to cover that interfacing. That's okay. So in this case here, I'm going to cut this with my chalk. I will not trim it out from here. No, I'm going to trim it like with 1.5 inch down. So this I'm going to cut it. Remember to get to this point. Fine. This is now my placket. This is now my placket. Now I'm going to fold this like this. This will actually go inside. So I'll open this. This will sit inside. This is it. So this is it. There is an allowance. The thing came out small. You don't just fold it inside like this. It came out small. You can see. Now from that, remember we opened the fabric itself with 6.5 inch. So we're going to cut out the 6.5 inch here. This is the 6.5 inch. So you can actually make it 6.7, so that you'll be on a safer side. Trim off this. Open it like this, then you cut off this one. Cut off this part. So this is how it is. Now the down parts, you can now form the V shape at the back, at the down part. Now form the V shape at the down part. This is it. This is it. Actually, now pay attention to this. Why I left some allowance here. Now you have to decide. You can decide if you want your piping. If you want your piping to be the one to cover this this placket. Finally, you can trim off this one. You can trim it off. Now fix the placket on the cloth. Now you can now pipe it. The piping will now cover this place. But in a situation whereby you don't want the piping to cover this place, you want this place to be covered, then you want this placket to cover the piping. You can leave it like this, then go to your sewing machine, turn this round like this, stitch here, and turn it back again. So this is what I'm going to do here. This is actually what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to fold it like this. I'm going to fold it like this and stitch it, then turn it down. Now the next thing we are done with this one. We need to get our the part that will cover this side. This is the top. This placket is going to sit this side. It's going to sit inside. It's going to sit here. Then you sew it. Then we are going to look for the one. We're going to get a piece of fabric that will cover this side first before we sew our placket. Now you can cut out like 3 inches. 3 inches. So 3 inches like this. You fold this. You fold it. Remember, as I told you, I'm not going to. The piping will not be we will not cover this. I'm going to cover this. So I will fold this inside. I'll fold this inside. Fold it like this. Now I'll begin to fold this. Folding it like this. This is a kind of Kampala material. So I'll fold this. I'll fold this like this. So fold this like this. Now this will come like this. The same way we did at this placket, it will still come like this. When you are folding it, don't fold it to be equal. One part will be bigger than the other part. So that when you are sewing it, when you are stitching here, already the one at the down, the stitch will as well hold it. So put it this way and iron it down. So this is it. Remember, we have 6.5 as the opening of that placket. To be on the safer side, you just cut it by 7 so that when you get to your sewing machine, when you are sewing it, you can now trim it there. So these are the 2 things we need for our plackets. These are the 2 things we need for our placket. So let's get down to the sewing machine. Get down to the sewing machine to join it. So before we put this placket now, since our piping will not cover this, so we need to pipe our cloth first before we fix this. We need to join the back of this cloth, then pipe it round first before we can be able to fix this before we can be able to fix this placket on this. Okay, this is the placket. We're going to turn it like this. And stitch it. Yeah, then turn it back again. Actually give a sharp curve here. Now we are turning it. Now, so this is what we have. This is what we are going to have. Pinpoint it so that it will come out. This is what we are going to have. So look at the inner. So you can now fix in the piping, fix in the placket and stitch it. This is the placket. We're going to fix it. So first and foremost, we're going to fix this one. We're going to fix this one. Okay. Remember, we already folded this inside, so it will now cover this. It will now cover this. So that line, that's guide. This is that guide. So this is where this is where we're going to have this. Okay. Actually hold it. Okay. Then you can actually trim this so that it will fit in. Okay. So now just follow that guide. So now bringing in the main plackets. The same line we're going to follow still showing for our plackets. So you fix this inside. Fix this inside. Make sure it's in line. Make sure it is in line with that guide we already hold it. You can actually take note of this and trim it small so that it will enter, it will fit in. It will fit in. Okay. Okay, so view the line. Yes, it's here now. Make sure that you are in line. Okay. You can stitch it. So automatically this placket is going to fit in at the center of this fabric. So you see the V cut, the V shape is actually at the middle of this body. So you have to stitch it round. Stitch it round. Make sure that this is also equal. The round neck from this side, make sure it's also equal. So this is equal. So remember that 6.5 we open this placket with. We are going to stop stitching from there. Then you can now double cross it with your stitch. Here we are. You're through with the plackets. This is the placket. You see how it fits into the middle of the fabric, the middle of the front. This is it. I told you the placket covered the piping. The piping did not cover the placket. It was the placket that covered the piping. And the inside of it, look at it. Okay.